Don't start shit if you ain't ready to get hit.
Well, allow me to drop some knowledge.
We have to disagree. I saw the Sailor Moon outfit.
What up,
Hi.
What's
How you
up,
doing, Goddess? How
Sal?
you
Thank you
doing?
for being here, man. Hold on, let me get these
Of
guys in
course.
here.
There we go.
What's up, Black Dragon?
What's going on? What's going on, Queen? What's going on?
Nice to meet you, Mr. Dragon. Nice. Cheers to everyone.
A lot to talk about today. A lot to talk about.
There's a lot going
Most
on as we
definitely.
speak. World's gonna be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just waiting on.
Some good, some bad.
How you doing today?
I feel all right.
I'm my Mark Merchant, Cody.
Oh,
Sorry.
it's okay. It's all right.
Bloodline
The story isn't over. The story isn't over.
I mean,
Yes, but they blew a major opportunity. They ruined what would have been an excellent payoff. But I'm sure we'll get to that when we do.
yeah, I'm just giving it a minute to see if Jay gets in here. I was just playing 2K23. I created my character. It took me like 5 hours, and I'm not satisfied, but I don't.
We're professional.
It's for the creative mode, especially when they, change the menu and you got to figure out, like, how can I do this? I remember when you used to be able to be, like, you used to be able to contort the body the way you see fit. I can't do that, and I don't like that. Because I want, my character to resemble my curves. It's hard. I got you.
I can't comment because I stopped playing WWE games after SmackDown vs. Raw 2006.
Hey, I sent you an invite. It's not letting me accept yours. Try to hold on. Wait, I got it.
I mean, I get these new games now. These 2K games every year. I mean, they look amazing, but my opinion, none of them have the replay value of like No Mercy.
That's legendary, of course.
I've been crazy lately.
Believe me, I know.
Guys.
It's all right. I don't have no place to be. I don't know about you two. You're probably a lot busier than I am.
My BMF Army is your favorite Jedi, BMF Goddess. I'm here joined today by my usual co-host. There he is. The Black Dragon, Jones. Megan couldn't make it today, but fulfilling in for Megan is Sal. Thanks for being here. And my other regular,
Hello,
Jay,
everybody.
the MMA fighter. You guys already know. What's going on, everybody?
Yo, welcome to Monday after Mania, yo. That's the most exciting time of the year.
It was a good show though, front to back.
None of the matches were bad. None of the matches were bad. None of the matches were bad.
I could say though,
The matches weren't bad, but
this
I say the
this
ending.
For night
mania
two.
I say the ending.
was the closest mania I ever had to have called everything. I called everything up until the main last match with Roman and Cody.
I had a streak. I was like 9-0 with all my prediction until the women's tag match. I was like, yeah. Like, I had
Yo,
a streak.
I don't know about you guys, but I can't stand it when it's predictable.
right,
That just
right.
makes me want to turn it off. It just makes me
Absolutely.
Um,
want to stop
So,
watching.
I
I
hear
fuck
you.
with that sometimes, but wasn't
I hear
bad.
you on that, but the thing I feel like you know what it is like I think it's more like I feel like night one was more like let's give the fans what they've been asking for, and then night two let's just fuck with them. Like that's what they did basically. Like all right, let's give them what they want, but then let's also fuck
Yeah.
with them.
I break it down like this. Night one was a Triple H show.
I agree.
Night two was a
I
Vince
agree.
A lot of
show.
people have been saying that.
Oh yeah, I heard that too.
I
Terrible.
get
I
it.
agree.
I get it, but I don't think it's as black and white as we want it to be. I think now, especially knowing the stuff that happened after, a lot of things make a little bit more sense
Mhm.
from a business perspective. And again, I got to be the wrestler. There's a fan side, there's a wrestler
Exactly.
side, there's a business side, and
Thank you. That's
sometimes
why
they
I don't
don't
have.
link, but
Well,
I get it. As a
I know.
fan, I'm
I
upset
know.
too, right? I want to finish the story, but from a business perspective, like think if you were going to have that major of an announcement, who do you want on front of your poster?
Hmm? That's
Well,
exactly.
like I'm surprised.
I
I
think
know. No, no,
choose
but I
Cody. I
know.
still choose.
Like
That's just a
I
biased
can
point
see
of
it in
view.
BMF's face. I know she's gonna ask me about this. Like I'm surprised that's not the first question you asked me about the news of the whole merging of
Yeah.
the business wise. Because like Maurice said, as a fan, we could say positive and negative things about it. But as a business standpoint, that he's a wrestler, and as a business standpoint, me as an MMA fighter, I look at it as now we're going to have that imagination mindset that now fights are going to be fixed. And that was not UFC in the first place. UFC was who is going to win? Like who's the best MMA fighter? So I don't agree, but I agree because now UFC is probably gonna make more paydays for the fighters now. They're gonna probably make more money now with this merge. So I look at it in the positive, but the negative is like now you're gonna make it too commercial for these and more politics into this business now because Vince is now part of it now, and it's and I get
Politics.
that point. And I
Well,
get
what does
What
it
else to
matter how much money you're
know?
making if you lose your
But
audience
I get the
because you
point where
isolate
Maurice
them?
is coming from because when I saw the merge today at work that I saw it on my phone, it made sense why you're putting Roman as that guy to represent the WWE side when you have a lot of multiple megastars to represent the UFC. So, but I like I said, we'll get to that because I know BMF is gonna break it down with the matches. But when we get to that main event match, I'm gonna say my negative and my positive of why it should have never ended that way. But then I understood why it ended that way.
Yeah.
With all respect,
No, this is just my personal opinion, Jay, but with that mindset, they might as well put the title back on Brock Lesnar if they're going for a UFC
Who knows now? Because I didn't get a chance
kind of
to see the
thing.
whole thing because I saw it really quickly before I went to work, and I'm a little curious about that conversation he had with DC because DC and Lesnar had legit beef with each other for that heavyweight belt. So we don't know if they squash it and trying to make it business now. Because who knows? Maybe Brock Lesnar's finally gonna get back in the octagon because he been wanting to fight DC, but DC retired.
but I don't see it happening. I don't know.
But I don't see it happening though. I don't. But we don't know yet.
But
But I
now
do
you don't
agree.
know. Yeah. And 2 years from now, they could be having a Mountain Dew Cold Black match, Brock versus DC. We have no idea what's gonna happen.
Exactly. You know, maybe finally we're finally gonna see the.
Oh,
I have
please.
no feelings
Never again
about
with
it.
that.
I have no feelings about it until I have feelings to have about it. I just want to wait and see.
We have to.
Go ahead, kick it off. Good enough.
Here's
There's
my
there's a
feelings.
long
Let's
fucking.
keep
There's night one and night
wrestling.
so
Let's keep
I'm
ultimate
gonna try to
fighting,
get
ultimate fighting. Because they're two different worlds.
All right,
Because
Sal,
they're
shut
two
up.
different.
Okay.
Sorry.
Let's try to get through everything, but with all respect, I'm only covering matches that I gave a shit about. Gonna start with the opener: Cena versus Theory, Austin Theory. I hate him.
I love him. This is his ball theory.
Okay.
That's how true it is.
Oh,
That's how true it is.
are you all
my
right?
God.
Oh, what?
What?
Got
She
it
turned into
down.
a
Got
demon.
it down.
She was
Got it
demon BMX.
We saw her true form for a second. It's going crazy.
Guys, his
Hey, don't
phone
talk
went
about it.
A-town
Oh.
down.
Y'all stupid.
Yo, hold on. Let me just do it. Let me do it. We live, yo. We
We
live.
live.
It's not
That
scripted.
happens.
We live.
We're live, pal.
I'll go
We're live,
first.
pal.
I'll go first.
We're live, pal.
I think
Theory,
it was.
basically,
Oh, go
he
ahead.
gives me that same feeling that I had when John Cena first came on the scene. I was like, who the fuck is this white boy who thinks he could rap? I couldn't stand him. That's how I feel about Austin now. So we'll see about him. How did you guys feel about the match?
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
So I think the match was exactly what it needed to be. Cena has nothing to prove. He's been there. He's done that. His job was to elevate Theory.
Yep.
That's what he did. It was short, simple, to the point. I can't stand that finish. Just as a finisher, I think it's terrible. It's so trash. He can do so many other things, but it is what it is. But he did his job. He's trying to being positioned. You see, he's being molded and positioned in a certain way, and they're doing what they need to do to push him that way. Cena did his job, got his check, went home. I can't be mad at it.
I feel
I
the
guess I'm
same
next.
way.
Okay,
Where's
guess I'm
the-
next.
Hey,
Yeah,
ahead, man.
I
You
agree
go
with
ahead.
Maurice on this. Like I wasn't like the I feel like the finish could have been more impactful. Like I feel like it was just too. It was too simple. Like it should have been more like the way how certain matches were like everybody had a shocked face. That should have like Theory should have had that moment because he had that mega heel background. But like you said, John Cena did his thing. He made Austin Theory look amazing as a heel. Like the fighting, the whole cheating part, the whole like this is my time now. Your time is done. Like I found it kind of hilarious the whole situation, but I wasn't.
I'm laughing at Blanco's comments because first of all, when I put out I needed another co-host, you didn't answer because I did.
Get him.
He's like,
Get him.
I didn't ask him to. Nobody asked him to join. Pay attention.
I don't know wrestling psychology.
Oh.
Wait,
That's the person that still
I think
have
I
a
think I
seat.
beg to differ
When you're
with that.
out of the green zone, then maybe you could talk.
wait, is that Blanco who I think it is?
I never claimed to know wrestling psychology, but I do know a lot of shit because I happen to be with a wrestler who knows his shit. So that's why I have Maurice here, because Maurice knows his shit as a wrestler. He knows that.
And I have a lot of friends who are wrestlers who have taught me a heck of a lot in and out of the ring. Both
Listen,
Wait,
we're
moving
the
on.
host. He's a fan. Let the fans be the fans. Let's continue.
Yeah, so my opinion was kind of like your guys. Is I agree with you, Maurice, what you said. Cena has nothing to prove. I didn't think he needed to. I didn't think he needed to win that match. I mean, I would have been excited to see him win that match. He is my boy, but at the same time, I get it. I just wish they could have done it a little. I was hoping
Of
for a
course.
little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Is that they could have, it could have at least given enough, at least given a like theory cheats once, one way it doesn't work, two ways it doesn't work. So like see him pull out all the stops. You know, like maybe he goes for a low blow, Cena kicks out. He grabs a chain out of his boot. Like them old Shane Douglas's finish from ECW. Like have him just try this and that and this and that and finally it's a combination of everything that works.
He'll be back.
Oh.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, Sal. But also, you're curtain jerking. It's the opener. You don't want to do too much either because it could take away from the stuff later. So I get it. I agree. I do wish it could have had a little bit more, but for what it was, it did what it needed to do. I'm not upset at it.
Which, if I could make one more point, was they kept saying over and over again that the tag team match that followed it, the four-way tag team match, was going to set the tone for WrestleMania Night 2. How are you setting the tone when you are the match
Good
after
point.
the opening
Good point.
match? How are you setting the tone
I feel like
after?
Austin actually. I hate calling him Austin because how dare you have my idol's
Well,
name?
that's
But
why they call him Theory.
I feel like Theory is lucky he got any kind of shot with Cena. So
He is.
where you coming from? But he's lucky he got that.
That's true. But that means that they see something in him. So
Right. I definitely I could tell, through his personality.
he's definitely being positioned. Yeah.
He's. Oh my God! I'm just having my phone keep calling. I'm sorry.
It's all good. And
That's why, thank goodness, my sister got a good. I got a good
So
sturdy
I'm
stand on.
skipping the Street Profits versus Shoosh Please because not because I don't like them per se. I'm not a Dawkins fan. I'm definitely ready for them to give Montanez that push on his own. He doesn't need him. I often forget Dawkins is even there.
okay, I hear you. But I am proud Dawkins bodied Strowman near that end. That was fire.
I was gonna say,
fire.
yeah, he was doing his usual, forgettable stuff until he knocked Braun Strowman
on his ass. Legit. That was fire. Because I think everybody knows Ford is the star. Ford is the Shawn Michaels.
That was an explosion.
And when you're in that position, when you're the Jannetty, what do? Right? Yeah. Ford is clearly the star, but he's trying. Some people just stay in that role and they sit there. I see him improving. I see he's trying. But when you're connected to a megastar, it's like, what can you do? But I see him trying. I have respect. Yeah, Ford's going to go on. He's going to be able to do whatever he wants. He has the personality. He has the skill. Absolutely. But also, it was a good match. Everybody did their thing. Ricochet, oh my God. They don't make them like that no more. That man's just a natural talent. The Viking Raiders did their stuff.
I have an opinion, if I may, about Montez Ford going off on his own. I think it would be the absolute worst thing for them to break up the Street Profits, because what would happen? The same thing that would happen when they broke up Enzo and Cass. The same thing that would happen when they broke up Otis and Tucky. They ruined what was an awesome tag team, and then after the breakup, they couldn't do anything with them.
Yeah.
So.
If there's no clear, distinct path, yeah, I agree. It doesn't need to be rushed. I don't think they should just turn Dawkins heel tomorrow. I think it's a slow burn, and when they do it, there needs to be a clear, decisive path. But the reason I don't want you to skip this match, we can skip after this, sentence. But my son Chaos Theoried Braun Strowman, my son Baby Kurt Angle, my son Chad Gable. If you've ever done a German suplex, the amount of core strength it takes is one thing. But then to deadlift German suplex somebody is another thing. But to deadlift German suplex someone who's maybe twice your size.
Seconds.
But then to roll and do it, like you're an Olympian, you're an athlete, that is ridiculous. Shouts out to him. Right?
That's why he's the coach. He's in the
Thank
chat for the
you.
academy.
Respect.
He's in the...
Jay, IG's acting crazy. Just keep sending it because I can't even search for you. It's not letting me. All right. Rollins versus Logan.
Bruh.
Rollins is like
What
a
more need be
complete
said?
jackass. I don't even, in my Austin voice. I don't even.
He's doing his job.
It's not about. It's not all
the
about
little Jeff
looks.
Jarrett
'Cause
He
tribute was okay.
he does every little thing to be annoying,
over
and it works.
top.
Because he came down there looking like a pack of bubble gum, and I loved it. It was great. I love everybody had their own individual, like Shawn Michaels tribute. Logan, for what was that? His fourth match?
IG is not letting me accept the request. Do you see Jay in here? He's supposed to be in here. This IG's
But yeah,
acting.
Logan, and it's everything it should have been. I think Logan, there's just some people that naturally have it. I don't know of people who have just connected to this as fast as he did. Maybe Kurt, but again, we're talking about a Hall of Famer. Like fourth match, like he looks like he belongs. He's doing things just a natural athlete. Rollins is one of the best in the ring to do it. Like we are so spoiled by how just awesome, and I think Rollins could wrestle a paper bag and make it look good. And they made it work. They told the story they needed to tell. They're going to get a bunch of extra clicks and views and all that. Advertise your drink, make your money. The stuff with KSI, make your money, get your clicks. That's going to be all over the internet. They did everything they needed to do, and the right man won because Logan don't need to win. Rollins got his stuff, but it was money, and they made each other look good. They were working together, and that's so integral. It's not just getting your stuff over; it's getting your opponent's stuff over, and it made it work. Logan was selling. Look how he was selling the hand. That's very little things, but it's integral. But he was resting. He was working like a worker. He did his job. It was great.
Well, I actually have two opinions on this match. One is I was legitimately shocked by the KSI thing because I fully expected it to be Jake Paul in the Prime outfit.
That's what everybody kept saying. I was like, no, that's not. That's not him. You know why? He didn't have legs.
When he opened the face thing, first I was like, is that our truth?
Yeah. I'm not even gonna lie. At first, I said the same thing, and I was like, "That ain't our truth."
And the second thing was, this was a difficult match for me. On the basis that I find Seth just as annoying
Maurice,
as
can you
as
see
Logan
if
Paul.
You can invite Jay?
I'm not denying Seth's talent. Obviously, his accomplishments speak for themselves. But I find his shtick so irritating. I mean, that stupid laugh.
But that's the point.
You just want to smack
That's
him.
the point. He's supposed to be annoying. So if you're getting annoyed by him and he's getting on your nerves and he's doing all this outlandish stuff, that's the point.
No, he's
When he came in with those big giant boots for no reason,
that's my take on
it. That's the point. He's doing his job. He's doing his shtick. And it is not letting me accept him or send anything.
Yeah, it's just IG acting. Sorry, guys.
Acting, man.
Like, once you're in here, you're locked in, don't leave. Oh, boy. All right. Becky Lita, Trish versus Damage Control. Damage Control.
Now, I have an opinion about this that's probably going to piss everybody off.
They look nuts.
I have an opinion that's probably going to piss everybody off. To me, this match was boring. It was just boring. I literally fell asleep halfway through it. I mean, that's not a dig on the women. I know they were all doing their best, but there was just no spark to this match, no intrigue. There was no.
I hear you.
You know what I mean?
So I was watching it with someone who isn't as avid of a new school wrestling fan, who's an old wrestling fan. So I'm just like explaining, the nuances and stuff like that. And I do understand that some parts you saw when it like slowed down, you didn't see like enthusiasm from Lita at all. Like you're supposed to be getting a hot tag and you're just like standing there. Little things like that can take away. We definitely saw, like I said, Lita got the lukewarm tag. She did not come in like a house of fire. She came in like a house with the, toaster burning. So like I get it. But also, when was the last time these people wrestled? Like full time?
Yeah, exactly. That's that.
Yeah,
Like
fight
I
against
said, it's
them. We have
no
to
dig on
like
Lita or
lower
Trish. I
the
mean, they've been out of the
expectations a
game.
little. It's not going to be a 5-star barn burning classic, but I don't think it was supposed to. It's a little bit of a nostalgia act. Lita did her shtick. Trish did her shtick.
Younger generation did, help carry the match.
They carried the match. They did their job.
Trish came out with her 1999 cities, looked
Yeah.
great.
Hey, listen. Ain't mad at it. Ain't mad.
They all
at
look
it.
good. I mean, I don't think we're any
Yeah.
of us
They
are
all
going to
look
disagree.
good.
They all look
They
good.
do. Yeah.
They look good. It wasn't a barn burner. It was okay. It was. I'd say it's good. Maybe a little bit of his nostalgia, rose color. It's nice to see. Her little Lita Salt, and she was trying to bring out a couple of new things that I hadn't seen her do. Guess she took a trip down to Mexico, learned a couple things. But it wasn't a barn burner. We definitely saw it slow down. Trish did her shit. They did what they needed to do. I definitely feel you.
That beautiful moonsault by Io Sky.
Oh my goodness. I would not want to do a moonsault after Io Sky. Like, it's gorgeous. It's hang time. Like, oh man.
Io is I definitely agree. Io is
that
poetry in
whack
motion.
poetry in motion. I did not like that. I was like, okay. But yeah, it was. What do we expect? Like,
What I'm expecting or what I'm hoping for is that
they should
this is the
I
end
agree.
of that. This Becky Bailey
Yeah,
damage
that's
control
true. They gotta.
over.
Let's wrap this
so
up.
over.
Yeah,
Over.
yeah,
They need to do something
enough
different.
is enough. Yeah.
I
like this guy, BMF. I like this guy.
I like arguing with him. Often we do butt heads, and I think a good debate is always fun. That's why I was like,
absolutely.
Come on. I have no problem going head to head. Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio.
The interest might have been the best part of the match. That was money. That was storytelling. I loved it. This man did 1 day in jail and is selling it like he did hard time in prison. It is money. The outfits were good. Ray coming out with the lowrider with Snoop.
Nice, good looking.
Dominic coming out with his father's mask and taking it off.
The escort.
They both look hot. They both look hot.
Snoop saying, listen, I'll do whatever you need me to do. I'm going to just get this extra money on the check. Listen, I'll drive. It's no problem.
Looks like a key character this WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Like, we need him. And we'll talk about that coming up, but he did his thing.
On a personal note, I enjoyed it so much because I actually live with my father, and my father would kick my ass if I ever disrespected him the way Dominic disrespected me.
He got his comeuppance. It was good. Some people are saying Dom should have won.
Jay, IG's bugging.
No. See, I don't agree with that at all. But I think they could still do more with this. Like they could still have Dominic come out, and they
Yeah,
could definitely get a second match out
yeah.
of
They
this.
could they could run this
They,
down. They could
they could get
redo
a second
this.
match out of. Like how great would it have been if when in the middle of the night when Ray came out with the other Hall of Famers in a suit and everything, how great would it have
And
been
ran
if
up on
Dominic come
them.
up from behind him with a
Absolutely.
chair and be
I
like,
was actually
bam,
thinking that
bam,
would have happened because if I was writing the story, that's what absolutely would have done.
bam.
Absolutely. While he's standing on
That
stage,
would been
we,
that would have been a
yep.
money moment. Be like,
This
okay,
ain't
he
over.
lost the match, but this ain't just Dom
hmm
Point going, I'm not finished
But
with you.
good match. The story, that's the story, the build up and the entrances. They were gonna have to like shit the bed for the match to be bad because it had so much build up. It's everybody can relate to it. It's not something otherworldly that you have to, use metaphors to figure out. It was simple to the point. Yo, this dude disrespecting his mother to his face. Yo, beat his ass, and he did, and it worked.
That's the only part. The
That
only part that wasn't.
was the only negative part for me about that match is that when Dominic threw the drink in his sister's face and she jumped the guardrail, I was like, yeah, get him. But then Ray stopped her. I was like, no, let her go,
Oh,
let her
because
get him, girl, get him,
a Latin mother would
get him.
have just smacked you. There
Oh,
would have
fact.
been no.
Yeah, there
Wait,
wouldn't be
no.
no words. There wouldn't have been no finger. Yeah, that you would have got hit with your chancleta already. That would have been a wrap. I feel you.
Wait, they not. IG froze, yo. They're not letting nobody in. It's saying that I have 3 guests, and I don't. And Jay just said it said that he's in here, and he's not.
Wow. Hey.
Maybe they're counting me as 2 because of.
Oh, no, but they were working the classic heel versus face match, and Dominic caught a lot of heat. He's doing great, by the way. I think.
Much
I mean, he
improvement.
not only Dominic Mysterio's son, but he's under the tutelage of Finn Balor now, and the team itself.
Yeah, that's what's making this that made that story work is that Dom is constantly getting better.
You
And
can see the
tell.
difference.
You can tell. He held his own. He definitely
Yeah.
held his own. It didn't need any out. I mean, you saw there was no outside interference. I mean, well, for the most part, there was no outside interference.
He didn't rely.
I mean, he didn't
They
rely
didn't
on
need
it.
it. Yeah,
Meaning he didn't rely on it.
but it worked. It worked for me.
Damn, what I was gonna say.
It'll come back to you.
And even at the Hall of Fame, the way Dom kept kayfabe, I loved it.
Yeah, he did his
He didn't even.
best.
Yeah, like everybody stood up when Ray came down.
Now, some people.
And then
Must
getting
have
up
been
and
hard.
walking
He
out,
wanted
and
to
then getting up
cry.
and walking.
Right, of course. At some point, you could see it in his eyes, like tearing up, but he kept the character. Now, some people were complaining about that because they feel like the Hall of Fame should be out of character and all that. And I say, this is wrestling.
Exactly.
If you can sell tickets, if you can make it work, make it work. Because now that stuck out. It worked. Do it.
Yeah, that's why I was saying that they should have gone even further by having Dom attack him when he came out at
I
WrestleMania
absolutely
with
agree.
the Hall of Famers.
Yeah. One of my favorite matches, Rhea versus the Queen, Charlotte Flair.
So this match made me so proud. Now, number one, I do think they thought that they deserved the main event, especially with Rhea winning the Rumble. I can get that mentality, especially if I were in their shoes and I won the Rumble. I think I'd be upset. Now, would the right match go on last? Yes. But they clearly had something to prove, and they went out there and they did it. I remember it wasn't even that long ago when women's wrestling matches were called bathroom breaks. And they went in out there and they wrestled their asses off. And it was impressive, and I was so proud. and you could tell there was a mutual respect, but they went on there and they beat the hell out of each other. And shouts out to Charlotte because she took that German and she landed on her face. No protection. She had no hands up. You saw the rug burn.
So scary,
like people have broken their necks, and she
man.
ate it.
Even I,
Goddess fucking,
and Goddess will attest to this.
she hates.
I am the biggest
He hates Charlotte.
Charlotte,
But you
And
gotta
we get it.
respect.
But
and
guys, Sal.
I
Thank you.
I give her props to that for finally taking one on the
She
chin
did the
like her dad
job,
always did.
and you could tell she wanted to, because even afterwards, when she's sitting on the back outside, it kind of reminded me of the Sasha Belair, like I wanted this, but I'm proud of you. Like this is the person. It was it worked. It just worked.
And I was gonna say something, Maurice. You said they won the main event.
It felt like a
main event.
Did you guys peep right before Rhea put her in the final move before she pinned her? Rhea mouthed to her, "Thank you."
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys?
Yes, because it's respect. They both. Oh my god!
I didn't catch that, unfortunately. I mean, I saw her scream, "This is my time." Maybe I wasn't paying attention that hard.
It was nice. It was nice.
Yeah, it was fire.
I usually
And
don't pay
also
attention to
the
their mouths.
little intricacies, the fact that Rhea respected the figure eight, as in every time you try to get it, I'm gonna get out of it. It just elevates that move. So now you still have psychology. You know, the thing that the person earlier said we don't know about. Yeah, the psychology of the match of making the person's finish look strong, even if you beat them. Because you were telling, no, I can't let her put me in this. If I get in this, I'm in jeopardy. I gotta avoid this at all costs. Now, if that needs to be revisited.
Yeah, so I think they should do more of that. They should do more of that. Be like,
reverse it.
This move. Let me get
If this move is dangerous, this is the move that you beat people with. Respect people's finish. This is something that's old school, but it still works. Because you want to have those moments where when you need to, you have that false finish that people buy into. If you kick out of everything, or this move always gets kicked out of, I'm not going to think you're going to win with it. But if you respect it, avoid it, and reverse it, sometimes you don't have to kick out. Sometimes you can avoid. Sometimes you get counter. Sometimes a rope break. It keeps the strength of the move. You don't have to just kick out of something every time.
Yeah, I have something to say about that when we get to the Cody
I hear you.
match.
That's something that annoys me a lot, with these matches, these long matches. Back in the day, you hit the stunner, that's it. You ain't coming back. You hit the pedigree, that's it. But it's not like that now.
You keep the move strong, when you keep it safe, when somebody does kick out of it, it means something. That's the point. That's the story. That's the psychology. If this is your finisher, you should finish matches with it. Don't give me a finisher that's always just a falsie. That's not a finisher. That's a trademark. There's a difference. Nobody's going to buy into that. Don't have him sell him on commentary. Oh my God, he always puts people away with that move. Right. No, he don't. He hasn't won a match with that this year. Shut up.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. And I get what you're saying, Goddess, but at the same time, like when Kevin Owens hit the stunner, like I get when people kick out of the Kevin Owens stunner because it's not
right. I hate it.
It's not the Stone Cold
I fucking hate it.
Like when people kick out of Rollins, like when guys kick out of Rollins doing the pedigree or Cody doing the pedigree, it's not the, as much as I hate him too, right. It's not the Triple H.
And I can't stand him doing the stunner, but also his other finishers, the pop-up powerbomb. You don't want to be pop-up powerbombing everybody. You need something that you get everybody with. Exactly. And not just lift, you gotta throw them the hell up there. I'm not pop-up powerbombing Braun Strowman week after week. No, take the stunner, fall down. Listen. No, I'm not doing it. No, come here, lean over, fall back. Listen, man.
No way.
Oh man. Mike versus Pat McAfee. It really felt like an interlude, to be honest. We're going to skip down.
I think they need it.
Now, this was a bathroom match.
The best part of that match was the commentary. Because Michael Cole was going off like his girlfriend just showed up. I loved it.
Oh,
Just the commentary. The match, it didn't mean nothing. Yeah, it was a bathroom. It was breaking between the two.
My boyfriend's back, and you're gonna be in trouble.
um, and they had the little Uzi performance.
I felt so bad.
And you know what's funny about it? What's more funny about it is that Michael Cole marking out for Pat McAfee coming back to fight the Miz is that he was the
Yep.
Miz mark.
Yes.
He was the Miz mark. He was the ultimate Miz mark a few years
hilarious.
ago. He was the Miz commentator.
Was selling him great. Yeah, the little Uzi thing, I loved it because if you see the audience, that is polarizing because half of them got it, and half of them were like, who is this?
Get away.
You right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
I gotta be honest. I had no idea who he was.
He's
I had no idea.
relatively. I came across his song a little recently too, and it's fucking. It's just addictive. It's
a bop.
Want to automatically twerk. That song was definitely made for women to twerk because I'll be in my house like
Get it? Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Usos versus Sammy and KO. Now this was some shit. It was really wrestling's poetry. Period.
I had high hopes for this match. It exceeded the hopes I had set. Storytelling, again, the build for the match is why this match was main event.
This is why
And they did.
it's one of the top storylines in wrestling
Like,
today.
Period. Over a year of build. I don't know what more could you want. The Usos seemed like they were a team that were champions for 600 days.
Up to the Usos.
I couldn't believe that they let Sammy come out with the PWG logo on his tight and Kevin with the Super Dragon.
So little hints for that. That was cool. It was everything that it needed to be. It flowed the way that it should have.
They even mentioned
by
El
name.
Generico.
It was everything. It was everything it needed to be. I don't know if you didn't like that match. I don't know what type of wrestling you want because that had storytelling.
The only thing that would have been the icing on the cake was Sammy literally going,
I love you. Exactly.
I love you.
I don't know what more you could have want. Like it was perfect. It told the story. They isolated. Sammy is one of the greatest baby faces as far as selling. Like you started to feel bad. Like this is getting bad. The Usos looked like assassins because like we're going to keep beating the hell out of you. Like, they have frustration, but it wasn't like frustration, like, oh my God, what am I going to do? It's, yo, we're going to have to keep hurting this guy. All right. All right. We're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, especially with Sammy. Thought Sammy kept mouthing more.
And it was money. He was over as hell. It was great. I don't know what more you want. That's a match. And for a tag team match to main event a Mania, that's a new record. For a Muslim to main event Mania, that's not. Now Kevin Owens is a Grand Slam champion. Now you got Sammy and KO, first time tag team champions in WWE. They gave you your feel good moment. So it was one of those like. After that Mania, I'm like, everything like the fans would want it would happen. That's when I started to worry about night 2 because I'm like, they were too nice. Like,
Are they gonna divide these belts though? Like, are they gonna?
They have to.
I totally fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. I was like, this is part 1, and the
that was part 2, all right.
This is the end. This is the absolute end.
But now, like, they have to divide those because. Like, people need stuff to do. Like,
yeah,
I would absolutely.
They got way too many wrestlers sitting and catering, doing nothing. They got
definitely, but that was like as a half that was a great WrestleMania. Like,
it was. I think one was kind of a little more my favorite. Night one, but
Absolutely.
Oh, night
Night
one blew
one was
night two out of the
clear
water.
for me,
Absolutely.
clearly
Right.
better. Yeah, I
The
rewatched
better
night
one,
one.
clearly.
I did not rewatch night two.
I wouldn't want to rewatch
of
night two. It just
night
made me
two,
mad. It just made me mad.
Brock versus Omos. First of all, who doesn't want to see two beastly ass men go against each other? That's already a draw. What do you guys think? First of all, I think Omos, I think he super needs a lot of development too. um, for me, it's just the
Definitely.
size. You know, you gotta be way more than that. So we'll see how his character evolves. Um,
I'll let you go first on this one, so.
what about the match?
Well, first of all, I like that it was on first. I like that they didn't. They weren't. They knew what this was, and they said, "Let's just get this out of the way." Second, I liked that Omos got his stuff in. I like that he was beaten on Lesnar, and you could tell Lesnar was legitimately hurt. Like those kidney punches, I know Lesnar's got to be feeling them tonight. Has got to be feeling them tonight, tomorrow. Also, but I agree with you, Goddess, that he definitely needs more developmental. But I thought for his moves were no problem. My problem is that he was playing to the crowd too much. If I could quote the great Larry Zbyszko, he said, "After you win the match first, then play to the crowd, then pose, then cheer
I'm here.
for crowd support." That's my opinion. Win the match first, then go for crowd support.
Yeah, I feel you. I think, again, it was the opener. It's Brock and Omos. You know where you're limited. You know you're only going to do but so much. I don't even know how many singles matches Omos has really had yet. He's huge, but you got to be able to do more now. But again, it was short. Got to the point. It was the opener. I had no expectation. At least, Omos got something at the beginning. Brock did sell for him, made him look good. Even afterwards, Brock was still selling, like going up the ramp and stuff. And he F5 Omos, and we went home. Like, again, it was what it needed to be. You know.
That was basically my feeling, but except I wouldn't have been mad
True.
if
True.
Omos won.
It didn't matter. Either way, it didn't matter.
Either, but Brock is that guy. Omar, does Omar deserve the win? I don't think so, not yet.
Yeah.
So I was totally uninterested in this matchup, but I'm gonna mention that my girl Shayna Ronda took the win.
Bro, what? So, Baszler got hurt, like, early on in the match. I saw at the end she had her shoe off. And Ronda, I think her arm is still hurt. I mean, I guess they're the people you're trying to build, but
It's all
what are you gonna
over.
do with them now? Like, what's going on? That was just very weird.
Yeah, but what's
True.
their competition? What's
Their competition is daily life
where do they
because they're
go
both
from
hurt
here?
now. Like, I don't know.
Look,
That was the one match that I was just like, okay, like, what's going on?
This was one of the ones that pissed me off because, like we were
Yeah,
saying, it was
yeah.
predictable.
And to your statement, you don't like when things are too predictable.
it's
Sometimes
not that
predictable
way.
doesn't mean wrong.
Yeah,
Sometimes predictable means it's the right thing to do,
yeah,
because when you start disliking predictable, that's when you start giving you swerves for no reason, and that's what I don't like. Sometimes predictable is okay. You don't
yeah.
want everything, but predictable is not bad. But this was just weird. This was skippable, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's probably a better word.
One of the My favorite matches of night 2 was Gunther
Oh, oh,
versus Drew McIntyre and Sheamus.
absolutely.
I honestly
I was
feel
the most
like
hyped.
they was only missing one thing, I think, and that was Bobby
The
Lashley.
comment.
I felt like it should have been a fatal 4-way. Would have
That would
been
have been
amazing.
cool. I wanted the chick that does his announcing for Gunther because I love the way she announced it. Gunther. I missed that for him. But this match was everything it needed to be. It was hard hitting. I didn't even mind the Mike's Hard Lemonade, make your money, whatever. But it was everything that needed to be, and these guys beat the hell out of each other, and it's fun. I'm sure. Was his face Biggie was somewhere in the back, just laughing at big meaty men slapping meat, like just having a good time. It was everything it needed to be, and I'm okay that Gunther won because I think they're going to build him to something bigger. I think by this time next year, depending on how things change with the merger or whatever, but I think they're going to position Gunther as a star, and he should be because when you're in a match with him, it feels real. Like you gonna get hit, you gonna get chopped. Like it's a
Bad,
chop.
he's the baddest motherfucker.
He's a problem. I could absolutely see him challenging for the title. Why not? He's
He's
believable. He's real.
how you like some shit's about
It's
to go
gonna
down.
go down. Like you need to be ready if you're gonna get in there, or you're gonna get rammed through.
I agree with you guys. I loved the match. I loved the brutality. I loved the violence. I loved the physicality. But for me, what ruined it was the finish because again, like I said, it was so obvious that that's what they were gonna do. Like Gunther out of the match for like 10 minutes, and it's just Drew and Sheamus pounding on each other. It's like me and Dad are just sitting there getting my dad and I just sitting there getting madder and madder. It's like he's gonna come from outside and he's gonna do something sneaky and get the win after they're done beating each other up. I was actually screaming at the television, "Stop attacking each other
Which is
and get the other
what you
guy!"
should do. But again, as the ring general, if you were in a triple threat with Sheamus and Drew, what would you do? The exact same thing. I'm gonna act like I'm America. I'm gonna hide. Wait till y'all use all your bombs, then sneak in and get the win. It's the art of war. It's what you should do, and that's why it worked, and that's why I won. And if y'all too stupid to focus on me, the champion, y'all deserve to lose. Now, is it predictable? Sure, but I don't think that's what makes it wrong.
Yeah.
I think that's what you do.
Like I said,
That
that's
was
my
our
opinion. It's just my
cutout version of the fans' opinion. That's all.
And I get it. I get it, but no, I agree. I think that's what you do. Because if you don't, then you have to have Gunther beat the hell out of both of them fair, and it could take away some steam. He looked strong. I don't think it took away anything from them. I don't think Sheamus lost, right? Sheamus didn't take the pin. Drew took the pin. So we can revisit that. I had no problem. Sheamus
definitely put on a performance.
I think if anything, got elevated. I think everybody got elevated a little bit because you had Drew hitting Gunther back.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not saying
But
it was a
like the
bad
finish.
match. I can't say it was a. I can't
I
say
get you.
anyway it was a bad match.
I see exactly where you're coming from, but I get it.
Asuka versus Bianca. I did want Bianca. I mean, I did want Asuka to win, but I didn't expect her to win.
This one really made me mad. This one made me. I was like on the middle, but in the middle with Bianca. But now this has turned me all the way, turned the dial all the way up. Now I just don't. I hate her now. I'm sorry.
So,
I'm gonna say it. I
that
hate
is
her
my
now.
fear. I have of her as well. I'm a Bianca fan. Bianca all day. Do you think? But I think they kind of are Super Cena building her a little bit, and I think it's going to make fans turn. They have to give her something else additive to make it different. because at this point, for
Exactly.
this long,
That's my thing. Is what else does she have
who
other
does she
than
face
be
next?
strong?
Like, who's left? Like, she has to do a turn, or
Who's
like,
supposed to beat her? Who's
what you're gonna
supposed to
do?
beat
Bring
her?
back Charlotte, which like like what heels are left for her to face? Like, they kind of boxing her in the corner. I expect her to win just because promotionally, like, she's a star. She's so marketable. She came out with the kid. She got the show. Her and Montez got a show. So I definitely, expected her to win. I think Asuka is so great. I think she's so amazing. The range that she has, I wish she could be utilized more. I get the decision that they made, but I also agree. I think they could have let Asuka win and have Bianca chase just to give her something different to do, because all she's doing is trouncing people, and that's cool, but that's only going to get you so far. Eventually, it's going to get people to turn. I get exactly where Sal's coming from, and I think they're painting themselves into the corner. They have to add a new dimension. And also the build up storyline wise for this match, in my opinion, was terrible. It was basic. So that didn't add to it. They need to do something else.
Maurice, why do you think they won't give it to Oscar already?
I don't know. Because in ring she can go, character she has, they can say whatever the language barrier, but she had promos that weren't in English and got over. So I don't want to hear that. So
I don't understand either. I'm kind of
don't know. Like,
And I got to disagree with you on one thing, Maurice. I thought the build-up was okay as far as Asuka was concerned. They were saying that she was going back to her roots, back to the monster she was, and that's what I was expecting. So that's one of the reasons I was expecting her to win, because
it
the
was
old Asuka
unstoppable,
was unstoppable.
But
And also, this is another opinion of mine that's probably a mix of it. That's probably negative to everybody else's opinion. I did not like them little kids coming out with Bianca. I thought it was distasteful. I thought it was inappropriate. Some of them moves them little kids were doing.
This is why we argue.
Okay, I see where.
That's probably not good to say, especially after we found out the news about one of the little girls that did
the contortionist mother passed that morning. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. I was gonna say I understand, and I sympathize with it. I sympathize that it was a like a children's
Dance group. Yeah.
a group center thing. I sympathize, and my condolences to the child whose mom passed away. I sympathize. My mother passed away. We all understand. We've all had loss in our lives, but because I so wanted Asuka to win, it just soured me on the whole thing. It just.
All right, fan. Next, the motherfucking Shane O'Mac came back like a heart attack, and he quickly left.
I'm trying not to make so much fun of it, because I also had a very severe, knee injury and a match that sidelined me for a long time. But Shane, you are 53. Why are you doing drop downs and leapfrog?
When he was last active, it was in like 2020, right? When he was last active with the fucking storyline and he was in everything. And I wanted to pull my out because I was like,
the greatest
this man
professional wrestler in the
away
world.
from wrestling, please. And when they did, I was so fucking happy. But I was hyped, when he came last night. I was like, hey, how you doing?
Hey, okay, yeah, because it's versus the Miz.
I'm perfectly fine.
I was gonna say, I was probably
coming.
still angry about the Bianca Asuka match, but this was my reaction when he came out.
Shout out to Snoop for pulling the audible, making it work.
Yo,
shout out for Miz.
The improvising that he did.
So shout out to that. Shout out for Miz for doing his job. Because not everybody in that same position.
Telling Snoop to hit him.
Yeah. So shout out to them. Shout out to Shane for getting the hell out the way. But Shane, you should have known better. You're 53. Go sit down. Like,
That's
go
so.
sit down.
I think this shit is gonna be worse than.
Also, from another unpopular opinion from me, I'd like to see Snoop
I
take
think.
one. We see he's good at dishing it out. I'd like to see him
Absolutely
take
not.
one.
This year,
Snoop
I'm a
is
rapper. I don't do
even.
this.
Snoop is even older. He's even
Yeah.
older.
Yeah,
He's
no,
frail as
absolutely
shit.
not.
Be quiet. Okay.
Absolutely not.
What was I saying? Fuck.
Sorry.
Shane needs to sit down. That knee, that leg. Oh, God. So reminiscent
Go
of his
home.
father.
Raise them boys.
Raise some
Go home,
boys.
raise them boys, live
Spend
a
some
good
of that
long life.
money.
Go home,
Like,
raise them boys, live a good
Shane, you were never a wrestler. Let's get this straight. In my eyes, I've never seen him as
You were
one.
at the very
Seen
very
him
best
as like
a stunt man.
a prop for the
Popular
other
stunt man.
wrestlers
A
to
popular
have
stunt
something to do in the storyline. But no, Shane, I'm sorry. Get better, and we like to see
and
you
sit
from
down.
time to time. But do not get back in the storyline or in a regular
Yeah.
appearance. No. That was embarrassing. Oh, that's what I was
greatest
gonna say.
professional wrestler in the world.
He's not gonna be able to overcome that. I think that went harder than when Titus went under the ring, when he slid under the ring. That was way worse. I think
Yeah.
Shane's embarrassment
Yeah.
was way worse.
Yeah. Because it's just like, oh.
That was one thing that boggled me. We don't see Titus anytime in the past 12 months, and then he's on commentary both
Yeah,
nights.
that was weird. But it is what it is. Shane, go sit down. And also, I'm a little annoyed because you got time for Shane, but Bobby Lashley, who was hyping up his open challenge, I didn't have time for that. LA Knight, who I'm a fan of, you ain't time for him, but you got time for Shane, and then went out there and did what?
Now that I understand. I understand that because obviously they were building up to a Wyatt Lashley match, and they had
True,
to call
but
an audible at
even
the last
after he
second
won the
reason.
Andre the Giant thing, he was still hyping up an open challenge. He said, "I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna fight." He came out and he waited.
Yeah, I was fully expecting when he came out with carrying the trophy for the lights to go
Something
out.
like it didn't have to be Bray Wyatt. Fine, whatever's going on there is that business. But like, remember, like,
What happened to Captain
right?
Albie? What happened to
You're taking time from other people who are busting their ass week after week after week, vying for a spot, vying for a payday, and you're taking the time away from someone else. And then what do you do with that? Nothing. So you took food out of somebody else's plate. Like, come on now.
Like one of the guys who they are seriously misusing,
Absolutely,
Bronson Reed.
bro.
I don't even know why he left Japan to go back. Honestly, that's
no. Bronson Reed has a pinfall victory over Okada
because the check was fat.
That's like leaving WWE to go to the shittiest indie show. Like I don't.
Maybe he doing it for the money.
Shitty indie shows paying you
Bro. No,
maybe he doing it for the money. I don't know. I don't get it. But hey, he's grown. He's grown. You make grown decisions. Who knows?
Edge versus Balor. Edge came out with his brood.
First of all, can we all take a moment?
Thank
you, God. Thank God the cage
Thank you.
was not red.
I'll clap to you on that. No red cage. That red cage is so stupid. Thank you.
God. Bring back the regular silver cage. No red cage.
Yes.
No red light.
That was started with the Fiend, and they stopped that.
And they were just like, "Oh, it's kind of cool." No, that was dumb. So yeah, I was happy about that. I was a little sad because everybody heard the rumblings of Gangrel. It would have been cool for Gangrel and Christian. I did like that they had the patch on the back, so technically whatever. The skull thing with the wings. I need to learn what he did for that. I need to steal that because that was cool.
So cool.
That was cool.
Maybe
Um,
because I
I gotta
know
say
Edge is
this.
leaving us again soon. I'm gonna
yeah,
have to go through that heartbreak again.
yeah, especially after Shane,
He's too
everybody over
old.
50 like, it's time to wrap this up. Um,
Go
yeah,
home,
gotta see.
raise that baby.
This
Go
match
home,
was
raise that baby like a good
hardcore. It
man.
was brutal. Candlesticks, tables, and ladders. Oh my! Edge won.
Yeah, but just when I gotta say this, Judge, just when then we were going in that thank God moment that the cage was, but then the
Yeah,
weapons were colored. Then the weapons were colored. It's like you
you
only
use the
use the
purple, you use
purple,
this,
you only
color
use the
coordinated.
red.
Like, oh my goodness. Balor was busted. That was a deep gash. They actually had to staple him up. They gave him a numbing agent with an injection. That's why Edge was doing everything to like buy time. So they had to inject him with a numbing agent and stapled him during the match, which is crazy because that was a huge, like, probably at least 5 inch, 6 inch gash in the top of his head. But the fact that they patched him together and he
Honestly, I
kept
couldn't
going.
tell. Me personally, maybe I just couldn't see it good, but I
I was
couldn't
so
tell
confused
if it was
The
too.
blood
paint,
or if it
right,
was just the
right.
paint
For
chipping.
me,
It was just the paint chipping.
I couldn't tell king or bloodborne.
And also, there was one
Hmm.
spot in the match that bothered me when Balor was on the apron and Edge knocked him off and he went shoulder
Yes,
into the cell like Tim White, like the move that ended Tim White's career. I thought that was disrespectful to
I
do
hear
that
you.
spot. Like,
Yeah, that was a
but that
nitpick.
was just
Yeah.
one thing.
Um.
But but then it was nullified by the awesome spot when Finn climbed up the
Yeah.
cage and stood on the little platform. The little platform in which
There's no other little
there was no other little
platforms. What
platform
is
on
this doing
either other
here? Like, yeah.
side.
But it worked. Um. This is just me being selfish. I kind of wish Finn won. I get why Edge won. I do think Edge winning is the right decision, especially if he's leaving soon. I just remember what the demon meant.
That's what I was saying, is that it was a stupid move for them to have Finn be the demon. I mean, I get he's a bad guy with the Judgment Day, but that's what I was saying to my father. It's like saying you're conflicting all the fans. I mean, they're supposed to boo the Judgment Day,
Loves
but every
the
fan
demon. Yeah.
loves the demon. But every
I don't get
fan
that. But of
loves
course,
the demon.
once the demon lost, the demon was dead. So you can't kill what's already dead. Demon's dead. The demon is turned with face paint.
Oh, the demon was dead after they did the ending with when he was in the match with Roman Reigns and
Yeah,
he did the little bop bop and then he
it's
came
still
back
lost.
and then he still
Yeah,
lost because
yeah.
the rope
They
broke.
killed the demon.
They
They
killed him
killed
then. They killed him
with
a
him
while
and Bray.
back. They killed
Yeah,
him
they killed the demon.
a little
But
while back.
I'm not upset about it. It's just it made me nostalgic of what the demon was. It was like once you saw the demon, you know, it meant something. Now the demon is just Finn with face paint. But again,
Yeah, basically the
right,
same thing with
right,
Asuka
exactly.
as
So
with
it's
the demon.
unfortunate, but
Same thing with Asuka.
great match. Not upset by it. You know, they're hell of competitors, and that is just shows you how tough because getting stitches and numbing agents and still going out there and having a match to the point where you couldn't tell like he's bleeding from the top of his head. Like that's just shows how tough and how much they care and how much they love this business. You got to respect that.
And it definitely made sense, demon or no demon, for him to not kick out of
Yeah,
a
like
concerto. Like, that's getting
especially
your
when you're
skull
already bleeding
crushed. I
from your
mean,
head.
that
Yes.
makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
I
makes
give it. Yeah,
sense. I mean,
poetic.
it's a,
All
But
right, so
also, Priest didn't wrestle either.
the last but not least,
Priest didn't
yeah, he
like he
didn't do
pulled a leg.
anything.
like, um,
Yeah, he
yeah,
interfered in the
that was
Dominic
about
match,
it.
and
But
that was
so
about
the
it.
only person who won out of the Judgment Day was Rhea. Go ahead, girl. Represent.
Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. You could still, if you listen real clear, you could still hear the marks crying.
Yeah.
I was the deal breaker
No,
for
I stopped
everybody.
crying last night. I
Get your
stopped.
Women is
I
like,
stopped. I
ones
stopped
up.
growling,
man.
and
Listen, learn to love it.
Super
now, granted, last night I
knowledgeable.
was
Yeah.
like,
Listen, he's the final
like,
boss, man. I think everything was done right. First of all, let's give a shout out to some of these gears because some of these gears were fire. Yeah, Cody with the looking like Homelander with the wings on his back.
He
That was
is
cool.
WWE's Homelander.
He is
I'm glad you
WWE's
said
Homelander. That's money. Just the slow entrance. It's all the little subtleties when Roman went out the ring and Paul Heyman was like, you know, you got to do this. This is your WrestleMania. Beat him, my tribal chief. Like Paul Heyman's facials, it's money. I sure.
Can I ask one question? What the pianos have to do? What the pianos have to do with
Are you
Roman Reigns?
questioning the tribal chief?
Oh, please.
Yeah.
More like tribal cheat.
Guess
You mean tribal
what?
cheat?
If
You mean
I've been
tribal
champ for
But
900 days, if I gotta cheat, then I'm cheating too. Guess what? He ain't get caught. He ain't get caught. You just mad.
Yeah, but there's an Eddie way to cheat.
And
There's
there's
a
a
wrong way to
three
cheat.
WrestleManias in a row on the same belt. Cheat. See, he's slandering. He's slandering the bloodline. He's trying to take food off the table. Okay. He's in the island of relevancy. If that's what works, you need to learn how to do it. Acknowledge him. Nah. It's money. It's marketable. I get it. It was a good story.
After that ending, I was saying
I
acknowledge
get it.
this. I was
I
saying
get it.
acknowledge this.
It's a good story to tell. I just hope whoever beats Roman first is going to be a star. Period. I just hope it's the right person. I feel like they're getting to the point.
wanted him to get to 1,000.
The right
Vince
person was
wanted him to
Cody.
get to 1,000.
They
Night
want him
2
to
was
get
definitely
to 1,000. I do think if like Cody still beats him after 1,000, I didn't think it's stupid. I'm gonna see the end result.
Cody
I do
is the
think Cody
right
could have been the
person.
right person.
You
I
don't
do
need
think it
another
had the
right
story.
person. There is
No, there's still
right
other ways it could go. They could still paint the picture, and it could still be Jimmy. They could still paint the picture, and it could be Sokola.
Who's left?
They could still paint the picture, and it be Sammy. It's not like it's nobody, but they are running out of people and running out of time. They do need to figure something out. You have to put him in a box where now he can't use his accessories. There's still ways to continue the story. They could have absolutely pulled the trigger, but before I shit on it, I want to see how it ends because they still have ways to go. Yes, they could have absolutely did it that night and it would have made sense, but the story's not over yet.
Here's how it ended in my book. Jimmy, Jay, and Solo come out. They stand there all three in a row. Roman's looking at them. Then one by one, they turn around and walk away. Cody hits him with the three crossroads. 1, 2, 3.
See,
Belts up.
I hear you, and because it's Mania, I feel you. However, you can still make this stretch to SummerSlam because now Roman has his belt. They don't. Now he gets to bully them. Now they're going to be tired because, we did what we need to do, but actually you didn't come help us, but we're always helping you. There's a story there. Have Sammy now get into his mind. Like, listen, I beat you guys, but I don't got beef with you. I actually do still love you guys. This wasn't about the belts. This dude is the problem. Have him bully Sikoa. Sikoa, be like, listen, who are you talking to?
I get what you're saying, man. I get what you're saying. That there's more story, there's more possibilities here, but where is there a better place to end a story than WrestleMania? What better stage?
I get it. I get it. Me personally, if I was booking it, I would have pulled the trigger. But again, business-wise, now knowing what happened the next day, I need Roman for, if nothing else, for the look and the size to be on those posters, to be marketing, for all the business reasons.
If Vince was still creative, then I would say I feel you some more. But The way I feel now is I want to see what Triple does. I have
Well,
trust.
with the new stuff is coming, I see Vince's name. I don't see Triple H's name on a lot of things, so we got to see how things are going to change around. Because if nothing else,
I was watching some of the more of the press stuff, and they said, as it stands, Vince is not in anything creative. I hope that doesn't change.
Vince, when asked if he was going to be a
Yeah, just
creative,
because they
he said
say
yes
it, don't mean
and no.
it.
If you
Just
think
'cause they
Vince isn't
say
going to
it.
have his hand in creative and his baby, please. This is Vince McMahon. Absolutely, Vince had a hand in this. Period. Period. I don't want to hear.
He don't do nothing
He
unless
has the
there's something in
last
it for
final
him. He don't
say.
do nothing.
I don't care. Period. Because we've seen it too much.
All right, so everything that's doodle gotta be Vince.
That's not fair, but
I kind of agree with God. I tend to agree with God. This is that as soon as I heard he was in the production office, he was in the little office by himself next to the
here we
production. I
go.
was like, God, this is gonna suck. This is gonna
Guys,
suck.
you are awesome. Thank you for being here today.
For having us.
Oh, please, thank you so much for
Thanks for
allowing me to come on
coming through on the clutch. Um, so we're gonna conclude there. My BMF Army. Subscribe to BMF Goddess on YouTube. Follow my guys. May the force be with y'all. Good night.
Okay.
Too sweet.